You're on fire. You're in chapter 9. You are coming to the end. You are on fire and you are excited. And one of the things we're going to talk about here in chapter 9 is some of the. Remember, the first thing I showed you was some special keys. One is you got to write your goals in the morning and you got to write them at night. And it takes you a while to get used to that. The second thing I said, every day, take a moment and said, what am I grateful for? What am I happy about? What did I accomplish and what did I learn? And put that down. Well, the other thing I want to talk about now in chapter 9 is daily morning routine. I personally love podcasts, and I spend every moment of walking, exercising, driving by myself listening to podcasts. And one of my favorite, which I really encourage all of you to listen to, is this podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire with JLD. Now, there are literally 2,000 episodes out there that John did when he used to do it daily. He doesn't do that anymore, but if you listen to a couple or 3 or 4 a day, it's going to take you well over a couple years to listen to all of them. So he's interviewed over 2,000 entrepreneurs during his thing. And one thing I heard over and over and over again from all those successful entrepreneurs is they have a morning routine. It's amazing how time after time he asks, what's one of the keys to your success? And the answer always comes back is, I have a morning routine and I live by it. And before I had it, I never could get anything done. And I am a big believer. As you saw from the last chapter when we scheduled, I didn't classify it that way, but we're going to go through it here. Every morning I have a routine. I know most of you hate getting up in the morning. Get over it. Successful people get up in the morning. Get over it. You cannot sleep in. I want you to start. If you don't get up by 5, I want you to start getting up a half an hour or an hour earlier and work your way until you're up at 5, because that's the prime hour of the morning for success. Argue with me all you want. I'm telling you, successful people get up early. And so JLD talks about it and interviews about it, but he has one, and so do I. In fact, what I want to do right here is encourage each of you who doesn't already have a morning routine to develop one. It'll help you greatly on your road to success. But what is a morning routine, and what does it involve? And how do I put it together? And why is it so important? The first reason is it works. Look at the successful entrepreneurs out there, and they all have that first thing in the morning for themselves to work on me. What do I do first thing in the morning? I work on me, myself. That's what I need. And I got there years ago because that was the only time it was quiet when I had a house full of kids, right? Second, the morning is the most important time of the day, period. I don't care if you're not a morning person. I wasn't either. Point is, what you get done before noon is so critical to your success. Successful people get more done by 9 a.m. than most people get done all day. I think I have 1 or 2 more videos to run today, and it won't even be 10 o'clock when I'm done. And I've already shot a bunch of video this morning, and I'm done. I'm going to do some other things because they just happen to be in the plan, but successful people get it done early. What's your morning routine look like? And what do you do? They all look different. Some have exercise in there. Some have meditation. Some have reading. Some have walking, running, jogging. Some people do yoga. Some people write. Some people work on key pieces of their business. Each of us will have a different process, but the process works for us, and without it, our day is just not going to produce the results we need it to. So, I take a moment here and run through my own, and there's a great, again, from JLD at Entrepreneur on Fire, he has a great thing called the Mastery Journal, which is one of the things that helped me to put this together. So I encourage you, go out to Entrepreneur on Fire, or eofire.com, eofire.com, and check it out. So for me, here's what my morning looks like. I get up, I exercise for 15 minutes, doing some push-ups, sit-ups. Now it's more closer. Actually, this I should change right here because it's actually 25 minutes now. Then I hydrate with some water. I do my teeth, my face, I shave. It takes about 15 minutes. Then I spend about an hour reading and studying God's Word. I do a motivational note every morning to my children and some other young adults that I really care about. I then write my goals. See, right here, I do it. I have some breakfast. I like to walk a couple miles with my dog. I check the bank, see how it balances and activity, make sure everything's good. 2.5 hours. Then I'll usually write for about an hour, and then I'll start the rest of my day based on my plan. Wow. Now, the only piece is not on the weekend is I usually don't walk because I exercise or check the bank. The rest of the stuff I'll do every day. And the reason I don't walk and exercise is because I usually walk sometimes or I'm working in the yard or whatever. But it happens, the rest of it, 7 days a week. And I've been doing this for over 30 years in some form or another. And I think I just get better at it all the time. And it becomes more and more a key to success. So part of your journey in this 90 days to success is to develop a routine for when you get up. And I know a lot of you are young and you have young children, and this is the time when you can have quiet. Enjoy it. When my youngest daughter was growing up and she was young, she would get up and she would come out and she would sit on my lap and I would do my thing with her on my lap. And it was a great time of bonding for us. So, yours can be much simpler, it can be much shorter than mine. I happen to have that time. I happen to think it's important. You may only have an hour. You may only have half an hour, but build a routine. That's why you got to get up earlier. If you're getting up at 7 or 6:30, guess you got an hour and a half. Get up an hour and a half earlier and start working on stuff that's really important. Mine was shorter and simpler once too when I had to get up and go to work. But now I understand how important it is, and even when I have work to do, or I got clients to see that day, or I got other stuff, I get up and do this. If I'm going skiing, and you know how much I love to get up on them mountains, but if I'm going skiing, and we're leaving at 5, I get up at 3, and I still go through a morning routine, because that's how important it is. Now, you might get up and meditate for 15 minutes. You might read for half an hour. You might run 3 to 5 miles. I used to love to run. But, I had a knee replacement a few years ago, and so now I have to walk. But I'm okay with that. You need a morning routine to be successful, plain and simple. Don't push it off. And I'm not telling you need to think about having one. I need to tell you need to have one. It's critical to the process and to making it work. So, your exercise for this week, or for this part, create a morning routine. Start simple. Don't try to do everything I do or everything somebody else does. Just start easy. If you're getting up at 7, don't start getting up at 5. Get up at 6:30 and then 6. Work your way into it. Unless I know some of you out there are A personality. Most of you probably are. So you'll do it your way. I suggest starting small. Write it down here and begin doing it. You'll be amazed. And again, share it with me. Send me an email. You have my thing there. You can PM me too. Just send me an email with the subject morning routine. And tell me how this is working for you, and if it's working, and what you're learning. Hey, wow, we're just about to the end. We got one more chapter. Let me go there and I'll see you there in a few minutes.